Hello everyone. Every child is talented in his or her own way. If you don't believe us, ask any parent. Some kids are great singers, others can recite Shakespeare at the age of 3. Some solve crossword puzzles faster than their grandfathers. You get the picture. However, there are children whose achievements shock not only their parents, relatives or neighbors. These boys and girls are so cool that they're known all over the world. But what's the big deal about them? Let's find out. Let's get it on. DiMaria. Stereotypes say that young girls should love fashion, social media and hanging out with their friends, while staying away from old vehicles, dirty car details and engine oil. Well, DiMaria hates stereotypes. At the age of 12, she told her parents that she wanted to assemble a car. Not to get one, but to assemble it by herself. Her parents were surprised, of course, but DiMaria, the girl's father, was a fan of classic muscle cars, so of course he agreed. He assumed that his daughter's hobby wouldn't last longer than 3 months, so he bought her a completely destroyed Pontiac Fiero 1986 for $450. By the way, the girl made the money herself from babysitting. Why did Catherine want to assemble a car at all though? According to her, it was a good idea to learn a lot about cars, and the experience would be useful if she decided to pursue a career in engineering. Were you making such serious plans about the future at the age of 12? Soon it turned out that Catherine, despite her father's worries, was not going to give up what she had started. She persisted in repairing the car with the help of her parents. However, Catherine does not understand why her project caught the attention of so many people, and is very angry that people continue to ask her what it feels like to be a female mechanic. It doesn't really matter that I'm a girl doing this. I mean, I'm able to do it just as well as any other person, says DiMaria. And another interesting detail, Catherine decided not only to repair the car, but also to improve its characteristics. For example, instead of the original 2.8-litre engine, she installed a 3.4-litre V6 engine from a Chevrolet Camaro. Anjali Rao. The desire to change the planet and make people's lives better has nothing to do with age, and Anjali Rao is great proof of that. This talented girl, born in 2005, became the best young scientist in the US at the age of 12. That's because Anjali Rao came up with a quick and inexpensive way to determine the presence of lead in water. With her invention, she wanted to help the city of Flint in Michigan, where many residents suffered from lead contamination in the city's water in 2016. At the time, many of the 100,000 citizens of the city complained about the unusual color and unpleasant smell of the water coming from their taps. After some tests, it turned out that the content of lead in the blood of some Flint citizens, including children, was incredibly high. A state of emergency was declared, and $5 million were allocated to eliminate the contamination. It was a really high-profile case. The idea came to Anjali Rao when she saw her parents testing the water with test strips. I realized it wasn't a very reliable process since they were using test strips. Using test strips would take quite a few tries to get accurate results, says the girl. And then Anjali Rao decided to invent her own device, which would be much faster and cheaper for ordinary people. But don't ask us how that's even possible. Maybe some children are just a genius. Her invention is based on a carbon nanotube filter, which determines the presence of lead. The device is also equipped with a Bluetooth transmitter that allows you to see the test results on your smartphone screen. Well, it is the 21st century, and now almost everything is controlled through the smartphone.
And when you just put it in?
Yeah, and you just let it in there for like 3 seconds. It's a very quick test.
Okay.
So it's based on Bluetooth connection, so all you have to do is click check status.
Okay.
And
Check
it
status.
gives you the results. So
Look at that. Mine's saved. Beautiful.
Anjali Rao advises her peers not to give up. Yes, it's not easy to invent something when you're a child, and adults aren't listening to your opinion. My first couple of times when I was doing my experimentation and tests, I did fail so many times and it was frustrating. But then I started to learn from my mistakes and realized that failure is just another step to success, said the girl. Anjali Rao is a 3-time TEDx speaker. In September 2018, Rao was awarded the United States Environmental Protection Education Agency President's Environmental Youth Award. And in May 2019, she was awarded the main prize in healthcare for her participation in the TCS Ignite Innovation Student Challenge, thanks to another invention. Anjali Rao has several of them. Imagine everything she'll be able to do in her life. Elena Andre. Remember the drawings you made when you were a kid? Crooked-legged elephants, 15-wheeled cars, and other strange things. Believe it or not, but some adults' drawing skills haven't actually changed. But 12-year-old Elena Andre is already considered a professional artist. To be more precise, an abstractionist with a surrealistic style. She took up the paints at the age of 9 months, and she had her first solo exhibition at the age of 2. Thanks to this, Andre is considered to be the youngest artist who has ever had a personal museum exhibition. But why is this girl so passionate about painting? Of course, her parents were involved, because her father, Michael Andre, is an artist, and her mother, Nika Kalashnikova, is a photographer. Elena's creative parents supported their daughter. They provided the young artist with everything necessary for painting, and even built a modern workshop for her. And not in vain, because the little girl is really talented, and in her works, she uses everything she has at hand. According to the artist's website, her work includes paintings, graphics, sculpture, and various installations. Of course, she has some critics. For example, some people believe that the girl doesn't create her own works and that she's just helped by her parents. Nika and Michael deny such comments and claim that their daughter is obsessed with painting and they don't interfere at all with her creative process. Today, Elena Andre is a world-renowned artist whose 2011 solo exhibition at Agora Gallery, New York, was sold out in 7 days. However, Elena considers her exhibition named Music of the Infinite at the Academy of Fine Arts Museum in St. Petersburg to be her most important achievement. Samholtz. This 6th grader from Illinois predicted the winner of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. And it's not that Samholtz has the gift of foresight or anything like that, he just keeps a close eye on the sports news. Even though basketball is not Sam's favorite sport, he still managed to make the most accurate prediction. Well, he made some mistakes, but luck was on his side. Holtz beat a group of network basketball analysts as well as Barack Obama, and celebrities like Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart. By the way, all this took place as part of the ESPN tournament, and for the victory, of course, Sam was entitled to a prize, $20,000 and a trip to the Maui Invitational. But Sam was a minor, so he couldn't qualify for the award. Sorry, champion. Tatum. At what age do people become cowboys? Perhaps you might be picturing a middle-aged man. Then meet Tatum. He isn't even 15, but he's already a veteran of the American Youth Rodeo Association and the star of a couple of documentaries. And of course, he doesn't plan to stop. Tatum is the kind of guy who was born to be a cowboy.
There you go. Let's over shoulder.
You know how some people are born to be doctors or teachers? Well, Tatum was destined to become a cowboy. The father of the young talent practiced rodeo almost all of his life. His mother grew up on a ranch and also liked rodeo. Tatum's parents met at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in 2001. The wedding took place in May 2003, and 3 years later, their first and only child was born. In search for a name for their son, they turned to the internet, where they came across the mythical cowboy Pecos Bill. So it's no wonder the boy first got on horseback when he was 2 weeks old. As a 1-year-old boy, he used a wooden dowel to herd empty boxes, and at the age of 7, he took part in the American Youth Rodeo Association competition for the first time, and immediately achieved success. In 2013, he won 1 championship, and then in 2014, he won 3. Tatum devotes all his free time to training. For example, he constantly exercises with the rope, even at home. His goal is one day to win the PRCA All-Around Championship. Amna and Hamda al-Kubaisi. Sisters Amna and Hamda are the first female kart riders in the United Arab Emirates. It sounds cool enough, but on top of that, they started driving at the age of 14. That's because their father, Khaled Abdullah al-Kubaisi, is also a famous racer. He was the first athlete from the Emirates to take part in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the oldest active sports car race in endurance racing. Of course, with such a father, the girls were constantly listening to the stories of competitions and travels around the world, and they they felt the need for speed. Khaled, in turn, noticed that his daughters were pretty good at racing as well. The first was Amna, who had already proved herself at the age of 3. The little girl loved sitting behind the wheel, as if she already knew how to drive, and the function of every pedal and lever. Her younger sister Hamda also wanted to race and impress the family, and she began to win from the very first season. Now both girls have a huge number of trophies, and they win more and more, year after year. With each victory, Amna and Hamda are breaking down barriers and stereotypes, and their parents support them in everything. Kelvin Doe. Kelvin Doe is already 23 years old, but we just had to include him in our list. After all, Kelvin Doe began to amaze people at a very young age. This guy from Sierra Leone, a small country in West Africa, is known for becoming an engineer at the age of 13. Of course, he didn't get a diploma. Kelvin Doe learned it all by himself, gathering electronic pieces from garbage dumps and building something new out of it. And not only because of his love for all kinds of wires and buttons. In Sierra Leone, there were constant blackouts. Sometimes people could enjoy electricity for a week and then sit in dark for the rest of the month. That's why Kelvin Doe made his own battery capable of powering the surrounding homes. He also created his own radio station in Sierra Leone, where he plays music and broadcasts news under the pseudonym of DJ Focus. As you can see, he's a really smart guy. Kelvin Doe also became the youngest person in history to be invited to the Visiting Practitioners program at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and he took advantage of this opportunity. Today, Kelvin Doe is one of the most respected young African inventors. In 2016, Kelvin Doe became an honorary member of Emergency USA, an organization whose mission is to provide free medical and surgical care to victims of war and poverty. Psst, dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and can't imagine your life without robots around you? Then visit TechZone and you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.